right, Green Group, we are ready for day 2 of Wonderful Worms. Remember when we read Wonderful Worms the other day? You learned some facts about worms. Today we're going to continue reading, and today we're going to think about, well, how are earthworms actually helpful? All right, couple vocabulary words for you guys to get to think about before reading. The word is swallow. Think about when you take in food, you have to swallow it before it gets down into your stomach. Airy, breezy, letting air in. When you open up the windows at home, the air comes in and then everything's feeling airy. And the word rotting. Think about when it's the end of fall and the leaves are getting gross and yucky outside. They're rotting, or maybe when your fruit is rotting at home, it means it's yucky and gross. All right, so day 2. Like I said, this time we're gonna read about how wonderful worms are actually helpers in the garden. All right, so day 2 of Wonderful Worms. All right, so I asked you guys to think about how are earthworms helpers. This last page, it says, earthworms are my helpers, the underground gardeners. So think about what we just read in that section of the book and what they do to help the garden. If I go back a few pages, like on this page, for example, it talks about how after they eat the rotting leaves and the dirt, whatever comes out of their tail ends makes the earth rich so plants can grow. So basically it's fertilizing the earth. The illustrations right here, nope, one more page, a couple more pages back. This one. So another thing that they do to be great helpers is they make the soil soft and airy so the roots and plants can breathe and grow. So that's another detail of how they are helpers. I really liked the illustrations in this part of the book because it really showed me how worms can get close to the roots of the plants and it breaks up the dirt and the soil. So it helps to make the soil airy, and that way the plants can get their nutrition. So, have you ever dug for worms before? So my mom will tell stories about me when I was about your guys' age that I would love to go out into the garden and find a bunch of worms and then play with them, believe it or not. This last part, before I end the video, I'm gonna show you something at the end of the book that I thought was really interesting. Sometimes in those nonfiction books, sometimes the authors give us more information at the end of the book. So I'm turning all the way to the end. I'm gonna leave this here for a few minutes. It's another addition to the book. It's called Facts About Wonderful Worms. And I like the way the author did this is because he actually gives you a question, like, do earthworms bite people? And then he gives you an answer. And then there's other questions that maybe kids like yourself probably wanted to know about worms. So I'm gonna leave this page here for just a few minutes. If you guys wanna read them, maybe there's some of the questions that you were wondering. Okay, remember guys, you can always pause these videos at any time if I'm showing the pages too fast. Please, please, please go back and reread these videos and work on your fluency, especially if some of the pages were hard for you to read. As always, we always go back and reread. That's how we become really good readers. I hope you liked this book, and I'll have another one coming up soon.